Hello everyone, this is Enzo Eigen at the Alliance for Loki. And recently I made a top 15 champions of MCOC and I had a lot of feedback on it. And so now I've expanded it to top 20. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try to order who I think are the 20 best champs in this game. Coming in at number 1, I still go with Quake. I think Quake, she just can turn off so much in the game, so much she can ignore because she doesn't have to hit the opponent at all. That's huge. She is only available as a 5-star, and so as 6 stars get more and more advanced, she may just fall out of the game entirely, sort of like Scarlet Witch did at one point. Number 2 is still Ghost in my mind. Incredible, powerful champion, amazing abilities, can tank SP3s, can deal with all sorts of damaging debuffs, is just really, really powerful champion and unblockable with a synergy. Incredible champion. Number 3 is Doctor Doom. He's like the ultimate mystic. He does everything well. He power drains, he nullifies, and on top of that is really tanky and can do a lot of damage too. And with Mystic Dispersion, you can just get this crazy SP3 cycle that's pretty much unstoppable. Number 4, my biggest love in the game, and that's Corvus Glaive. I still think that Corvus is a very unique and powerful champion in so many ways. He's very bursty though, and so he definitely has a finite range. If they have too much health, he won't be nearly as good, but his immortality also is huge in the game as well. After that, I think it's a little more interesting. I'll probably go with Hercules, who I think a lot of people make an argument between Corvus and Hercules. I think if the fight goes longer, Hercules is far better, but I think for shorter fights, Corvus is still a better champion. They both have sort of an interesting immortality. I think Corvus's immortality is a little bit stronger than Hercules, but again, a lot of it is situational, can depend on the situation you're in. Next, I'm going to go Magneto. So Magneto is just so powerful against metal champs, and then very powerful in his own right, even against non-metal champions, so he's become a great champion. Is a spam heavy style, which isn't always the most fun to play, but yeah, if they're metal, he's definitely so superior against them, just wipes them away. After that, I'm gonna go with Aegon. So Aegon is another one of these champions which is really unique and critical for very specific parts of the game, and absolutely the best. So Abyss, Labyrinth of Legends, many long contents where you can ramp him up. He's just so powerful, really does so much too once you get his combo up pretty high. Actually, even a lower combo, like 100, 200, he starts getting pretty powerful as well, and so he's a great champion. After that, I'm going to go with the original sort of synergy god, and that is Nick Fury. Of course, having the one where he gives you healing and gets rid of a debuff is an amazing synergy. Very strong champion in his own right, incredible bleeds, incredible utility, has the second life, can be stun immune, can be unblockable, has so many things going for him that he's an amazing champion. So I think he definitely deserves in the top 10. Rounding out the top 10, I'm going to go with Omega Red. So Omega Red is a champion that's used often in war. I mean, his degen ability with his spores, his death spores, just gets around so much in this game because, it's just this massive damage without having to really touch the opponent or do much other than stand near them. So incredible champion. Has also regen through suicides and all sorts of little other interesting pieces of kit. Next, I'm going to go with sort of a hard choice between a few champions now, but I'm actually going to go with Human Torch. Much the way that Magneto is definitely like the metal god, Human Torch is absolutely the mystic god. So anytime you fight a mystic, he's huge advantage. Also, anyone who does energy damage, like Professor X, for instance, he is really powerful against them as well because he just builds up his smolders and gets so much power of them from his incinerate. So he's an amazing champion. And then after that, I'm going to go for another like sort of damage dealer, and that's Archangel. His damage potential is huge. Of course, they have to be able to bleed and poison his opponent, but if he can do that and get some neurotoxins on him, not only does he do huge damage, but he just shuts off so much of their ability that it's just absolutely incredible. So here's an interesting champion that I left out last time, but I'm going to include now at number 12, which feels pretty high, but she's a pretty amazing champion. So Magic is one of the ultimate power control champions, and basically once you can get her SP2 with some Mystic Dispersion, I mean, she will just continually power control a champion, and it really changes the combat in the game. when using her. Still used quite a bit in war, high-level war against bosses, against other counters, and so she's an incredible champion. I actually sort of debated putting Vision in this list too, because I think he's the other amazing power control champion, but I think she has a pretty big edge against Vision in the fights that she can be used for. After that, I have to go with another big synergy god, and that's literally a god, is Apocalypse. And so Apocalypse, incredible synergies, can make people a horseman, certain mutants a horseman, which really adds a lot of power to them. But in his own right, he has incredible utility, lots of debuffs, doesn't allow buffs to be purified, and is just really strong and tanky. So a great champion, and definitely worth the spot and one of the top champions of the game. After this, I'm going to go with Kitty Pryde. Some part of me thinks she should be higher. Of course, in the top 20 list, all these champions are amazingly good. She's sort of like reverse Ghost, and I think it's going to take a little bit of time. Let's see how she's used in war. Let's see how she's used in content to see, she'll probably move up some spaces. So the early report on her is that she's absolutely amazing and an incredible champion and can do so much and has so much utility. So yeah, I have a feeling she will be moving up the list, but already as a relatively new character, she's already without a doubt in the top 20. Next, I'm going to go for a tech champion who has, again, some really unique abilities. I think her unique abilities are sort of like in several parts. One, the fact that she can ramp up, which is really amazing. It does take it to get to 100 combos, but once she has that, the damage just starts scaling out of control pretty quickly. Of course, finishing the SP3 fight with an SP3, you get the 100 combo to start. She has power control. Also very interesting is the fact that she does not crit and puts on a degen instead. That's a very interesting ability. There's a few champions that have that now, but she was sort of the first one to really, people have it and use it a lot and can become very useful in a lot of content. After that, this was probably the one I had the most critique on, was not having Cosmic Ghost Rider in the list. So I've included him, and I think it's absolutely fair. I think his style of play is, you have to be able to sort of do his sequence to get the most out of him, which is not always possible, but yeah, the damage he does is out of control once you can get that sequence going, and he can finish fights very quickly. So he's a really cool new champion, and has a lot of utility just in the fact that he can do so much damage very quickly. After that, I'm going to go with Captain America Infinity War. Again, a very versatile champion. I think he does a lot of things good. I think he has incredible utility with the different effects he gains with his synergy partners, with the class partners that he has because of his SIG ability. Just also a lot of interesting other things he can do, plus good defense, high block, perfect blocks, and can also do very good damage. His SB2 can hit very hard as well, so a great champion. Sort of right in line with Captain America Infinity War, we'll have Shangshi. So Shangshi also has that same things I would just say about Captain America Infinity War. Lots of interesting uses for him because he's lots of different sort of utilities to pick from. And then he can also do huge damage also as SP2. So he's sort of like the skill version of Captain America Infinity War, but he brings a different set of skills. The unblockable, he can put the slow on his opponents. Of course, he also can stun them. So he has all these different pieces that he can use and very effectively, and they're very reusable too, so you can use them many times in a fight. Number 19, I think this was another one of the ones I was more controversial, is Void. I still think Void is one of the most unique champions in the game as far as how you can play him and what he can do for you. I know that like Mr. Fantastic is sort of similar in some ways, but I still think Void as a standalone champion is superior to him, and I still think there's going to be a lot of content where people will say, oh, that's a Void fight, and he'll be really good for it. Last but not least is a very interesting choice for number 20. As a playable character, very average, maybe even below average. But he is the prestige god of this game, and simply because of that, he should be included in the top 20. His prestige is so much higher than everyone else, excluding Doom, but it is even above Doom by a good step, and so he's well worth having as a top 20 champion just because his prestige is so amazing. And so yeah, I think he belongs in here. And of course, like if you look at all the top alliances, you will see almost everyone has a to Silver Surfer ranked up as rank 3 or rank 4, and so just an aspect alone, even though it's a very like different variable in this game, it's still an important one. So I think he's worthy of this top 20. So there you go. That's my top 20 list for you, updated. I think I'm going to do a tier list of each class coming up next, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And of course, leave plenty of comments below. I love reading them, and it certainly helped me sort of refine my choices from the last time I did this type of video. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you again very soon in another video. Bye-bye.